Hi, it's Christine with Moonshine Safari and
Anthony with Moonshine Safari.
Woo! And we are doing episode 2 of Blood of My Blood, the prequel to the Outlander series on Starz.
So many
things. Reminder that we have spoilers for both the books and the shows, and we are doing this as if you already have seen all of the shows and all the books, because otherwise I can't separate it all out. So spoilers.
If you
don't want to listen, you shouldn't.
I messed that up.
Right, I know. If you don't want to be spoiled, you shouldn't listen, but you do want to be spoiled, so you should listen.
Get spoiled.
There you go. Get spoiled. Woo! All right. So we are opening this episode. Reminder, in the last one, basically we've seen Jacob Mackenzie die, and now the brothers are fighting, which, just to kind of draw you back to my annoyance with it, that does not seem to match, in my mind, the books. I don't think they fought in the books, or it doesn't make that clear. In the show, it looks like more of a rivalry. This one opens with World War I and Henry. He feels they're sad. There's just too much death, okay? Henry, by the way, is Claire's father, that we never actually meet in the Outlander, the main series, and we don't ever meet him in the books. Then it flashes over to Julia. Julia really, okay, I'm just going to say that as far as looks goes, I think they did get someone that looks and sounds a lot like Claire does.
Very similar, yes.
I mean, they did a really good job with that.
They did a good job picking, yeah. I agree. I totally agree. Don't pay any attention to the background noise.
Okay.
We just have to work within the parameters we are
given.
To.
There
so
you go.
If you'd like to continue to, support our channel, it'll be quieter.
Next time.
Something like that. That's how everybody else does it. I don't know.
So like I said, Julia really, I think, does look like Claire. And I'm going to take a minute also to say Brian, the person that plays Brian Fraser in the show, mannerisms-wise, sounds a lot like Jamie. They did a good job with the casting, I think.
I agree. He looks, they have similar look, the square jaw and everything. He doesn't seem to be as, just because I haven't seen them together, but he doesn't seem to be as big or bulking as
I would agree with you. I don't think he does either.
What's his name?
Sam Hyun.
How do you say that? Hyun?
As Jamie.
I ought to be able to say that because I'm a lot of Scott. I got a lot of Scottish in me. In fact, we're laird. By the way, we are lairds. We do have
square.
Yeah.
We have a square.
We have a square in Scotland.
So also the fun thing I wanted to mention is that the actor who plays Brian Fraser, his name is Jamie Bryan Roy, which cracks me frick up.
That's pretty good.
So obviously our main character's name is Jamie.
He was meant to be this guy.
It is. It's so meant to be.
He's
playing a character named Brian because that's Jamie's dad, and his last name is Roy, which is a Scottish word, a play off of a Gaelic word that means red. Yep. So it's just the best thing ever.
And
I think it's so funny.
Is he doesn't have red hair.
He does not. He has really dark hair, but he's supposed to.
Well, right.
Right. Brian Fraser
Ellen
did have
has the red hair. Yes, anyway.
So, like I said, Julia kind of looks like Claire. I think she sounds like Claire. And her job is reading soldier letters in World War I. Don't forget, Claire was in World War II. Julia's in World War I. Her job is to read the letters from the soldiers and black out the stuff that is not allowed to be sent via letters because classified information and stuff like that. And she gets this letter that is just kind of written as an open letter to somebody because obviously Henry, it doesn't sound like had anybody to actually write to, and she feels bad for him. She takes the letter and she replies to it, and all of a sudden, bam, fireworks and all that. They're writing to each other. They're pen pals now.
It's like finding your online love before there was online.
That's right. It's like Facebook for World War I.
That more like the chats way back in the day.
That's true. Chat rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Julia is like a woman kind of out of her time in a sense, which they're using that to play into Claire's character because she wants to get a higher education. In World War I, that was not necessarily the most common thing for women to be thinking about college and stuff like that, but she really does want to do that, so that kind of works with Claire's character later.
She's very headstrong,
yes, like
Claire.
Claire's character,
sure.
Especially in the shows.
Yeah,
like this matches the shows more than the book, but yes, it does work. And she loves Scotland, and they're in their letters back and forth. She's saying that she wants to go there. She'd love to learn about the fairy folk and stuff, which is a big plot point.
Yeah.
And she knows about the travel stories and stuff like that. So actually, Henry said he had never been either. So they should just go. They should go when he can get away from his soldiering. So they finally meet in person, and Henry calls her his hope. And I'm wondering if we're not seeing something faith, hope, and love somehow developed, because we know that Diana Gabaldon uses a lot of Bible verses and stuff like that. We have Faith potentially as, both Claire's daughter.
Right.
And I think it could be that it's going to turn out that they have a child that was Claire's sister. We'll see. I just think there's some weird thing that we're going to find out that maybe the woman in the locket, the last book, is actually Claire's sister. And
then later they'll have another kickoff, and it'll be live, laugh, love.
That's where the sign was born.
I'm guessing.
Right? I'm sure. So that's what I think. Anyway, maybe a faith, hope, love play on things. But anyway, so they finally meet in person for the first time, and guess what happens? Bomb chicka wow. Lots of it, actually. Very much.
We know where Claire gets.
That's right. And they get engaged, and then they get engaged, bomb chicka wow.
That's
and
2 shots for you who aren't following along.
Henry wakes up a lot in the middle of the night. You see that basically there's a theme that runs through this, that he has PTSD from World War I. Like, he is
it's
jacked
bad.
up from
it's pretty bad.
Okay. And so now we flash forward to the end of the last episode, and Julia has gone through the stones and is looking around, and her wedding ring stone is gone. This again is a plot point for both the books and the shows, because stones help people travel, like gemstones help people travel through travel stones. So her stone is gone. It burned up. It burns up when they go through the stones. No one knows why, but apparently it also helps them, because she's actually gone back more than 200 years. Not a lot more, but still more than 200.
Maybe they mention this because later we learn that they can actually kind of steer when
Yes.
the travelers can steer. But what about the very first times?
Yeah, what were they going to? Yeah.
Maybe just because they were there at the stones, they're thinking more of the past, but something else is pulling them to that, and I don't know what it is to that time. But so there has to. I don't know how that works, but it has to be something.
Well, and then there's even been some speculation that like I said, I'm all kind of spoilers in here, but that in the shows, I think in the books too, when Claire goes to the stones and she actually falls through the stones the first time, she is picking some flowers that she had seen there the day before, and they were forget-me-not. And there's some people that think that Jamie plants them there so that she goes through the stones. Like,
wait, what?
I don't know. Okay, it doesn't make sense necessarily.
That sounds like
to me,
a weird
so
circular kind of
big
thing.
Circle at that point, right?
That's
exactly.
weird.
But we know that his ghost was looking at her.
How does time work?
Right, exactly. We know that his ghost was there, and it was anyway. I'll go back. So her stone
Which came first, Jamie's ghost or Claire going
correct.
through the stones?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. It kind of boggles the mind.
I know.
So Julia's stone is gone out of her wedding ring, and she notices it. She puts it in her pocket for safekeeping. But she needs to go see where she's at because she doesn't see Henry anywhere. So she writes "swack" on a stone in case that he comes there and he'll know that she had been there, which means sealed with a kiss. I gotta tell you, I never knew that that's what that meant.
I never heard of it before.
You never seen the SWAK? People write that?
No.
I remember that back in the day.
You do?
Yeah, I remember people writing it. I
We
never
were in
knew
the
what it
same
meant.
day.
That's what I'm saying, but I never knew what it meant.
I never saw anybody write it.
Oh,
I
I'm
never
just
knew
saying.
people then.
The people I knew.
I didn't know those people.
So
we knew the same people.
Well, depends on how back in the day. Okay, so Julia writes that, and she decides to go up on a hill, and she sees a wagon traveling. She sees a wagon traveling, and she's asking them for help. They don't seem to speak English, and so, but she's still asking them for help. And they say they act like they're trying to kind of help her and talk to her, and then all of a sudden, this person comes from around the wagon, puts a like a sack over her head, and they have now kidnapped.
All you knew when you're watching the story, when you're watching it on the show, you're like, oh
she's
yeah,
so busted.
you're so getting taken
You're
right now.
Busted.
Oh, something
This
bad's
is
about
not
to
gonna
happen
go
to
well.
you. Yeah, and it's typical.
So guess where she's taken? She's taken to Lord Lovett.
No way.
Yeah, I know. So this is Jamie's grandfather, Brian's father, just to kind of keep everybody in line. And she meets with the housekeeper. The housekeeper's name is Davina Porter. It's really cool. So Davina Porter, the actual person, is the narrator for all of the book up until this most recent book, which was Go Tell the Bees I'm Gone. She's been the narrator. And we knew that Jamie's mother was a maid of the house, but she didn't name her till Written in My Own Heart's Blood. She named her after the narrator, which I just think is really cool. So that's just a little Easter egg.
And she does a good job too. She really does. I mean, I kind of make fun of her because she like holds out her vowels, which I guess that's probably a Scottish thing, but it's pretty funny. But we really enjoy listening to. We listen to them every night.
And in my mind, that's Claire's voice. It's
Yeah.
going to be really hard for me with the last one, and I'm sure that the lady's good at it, but it's just going to be hard for me because that's Claire's voice in my brain.
Yeah.
But Davina Porter's 85.
Yeah, she's done a great job.
Kind of retired.
I blame her.
These books have been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So now we cut to Henry, and he has also gone through the stones, but he can't find Julia, and he sees that she's written on the stone. So he just starts walking because he doesn't know what else to do. So Julia wakes up to Davina Porter being around her. She finds out from Davina Porter that the kidnappers have now sold for their debt to Lord Lovett. So they kidnapped this woman, and they sold her to Jamie's grandfather as basically Julia is a servant woman in his house. Brian sees her, and she would basically be, I have to think about, so his grandson's daughter's mother. So
Who are you talking about?
no, I'm just thinking. So Brian sees, I'm sorry.
Well, tell who.
Okay, so Julia is now in Lord Lovett's house. Lord Lovett, again, is Jamie's grandfather, Brian's father, okay? He sees this servant woman who's now come into his house. He is gross, jerky, lechery kind of person. He just is. He always has been. That's the way he's pictured in the books. That's the way he's pictured in the show. He sees this woman who's really going to end up being his grandson's daughter's mother. But how could you ever put that together? But anyway, that's who this woman is. So it's kind of crazy when you start to put it all together.
Prequel is going to throw all kind of weird stuff. You're going to be thinking,
you have to.
Oh, they saw this person and they saw this person.
Exactly.
It is wild.
Which happens a little bit when Roger. Go ahead. It also happens a little bit when Roger goes back, because all of a sudden he's seeing people that were dead by the time the story starts. Kind of wild. Anyway, so Henry's walking and he's looking for Julia, and he finds sort of a pub, an old school version of a pub, obviously, because you're talking ancient times. And he asks about Julia, and they're like, we don't see any women around here that you're looking for. But he notices that there's business going on. So the Grants, which we know are another clan, are in this tavern and they're trying to do some business. And Henry calls the business deal sort of into question. He goes, I know that you're not. He basically makes some comments that make it clear that maybe he thinks there's something fishy going on with the deeds they're trying to sell to the Grants. And so Malcolm Grant, who is the son of the clan and basically presumptive heir, if you want to call it that, to the clan Grant, follows him outside and goes, how did you know? I want to know what you're saying. I want to know what you're thinking. And he ends up saving them from making a business deal that would have cost them money. It would have been a fraud. Also means that the person that they trust to do their business for them, they call him the Bladier. He wasn't trustworthy either. He was in on the fraud. So all of a sudden the Grants are looking at Henry like, maybe we need to keep this guy. Henry ends up becoming the Ned of the Grant clan. He doesn't necessarily want to be there. They've also told him that he can look for this Julia he's looking for, and they're going to give him a salary, but they're really a dangerous clan. But it's a dangerous time. I mean, it's kind of just
everybody's
time.
Dangerous, actually.
And Archbug works for the Grants, and he doesn't like Henry at all, okay?
And the Mackenzies are just as dangerous.
Yes.
They're all dangerous.
Exactly. It's kind of...
So now, have agreement.
Well, pretty much. So now we go back to Lord Lovett. Julia's snooping around, and Lord Lovett finds her, and like I said, he's gross and pushy and lechery and gross. But she always gets caught. She tries to run away, and she gets caught like that too. Like mother, like daughter. They seem to get in a lot of the same kind of trouble. Brian, like his son, intervenes to take her punishment, and he basically tells his father he let her go. He felt bad for her. He let her go. Don't punish her. So Brian actually takes a beating for Julia.
What does that sound like?
Right, similar to what Jamie does.
That's like almost exactly
Larry.
The same, yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
So now back to Henry. Arch doesn't like him. Like I said, Arch is always looking at him like he's up to something, which, the problem is Henry's out of his time. So they don't jibe well in the time that they're in because none of this makes sense. I don't even know how you process that in your brain, but anyway.
Right.
Ned meets with Henry. They have offered Ellen as wife for Malcolm Grant, and Henry is also looking for someone. And so all this time, Julia is writing to Henry and vice versa. But what happens is Julia writes these letters, and she's smart enough to burn the letters because obviously she doesn't want anyone finding these things that she's saying in these letters.
So for some reason, the original audio recording cut off right there, which was weird. But basically, that was almost the end. Essentially, Julia and Henry are writing to each other. And that's kind of how the episode ends, with her just declaring herself again. And then we fade to black. So just to remind everybody, check out moonshinesafari.com for all of our past episodes, both for the shows and the books. And of course, we're just in the Outlander first book. Also, check out moonshinesafari.com for some cryptid stuff we have going. We might even do a couple of podcasts on Scottish lore and some of the legends that pop up in the books and the shows. It's kind of cool. So check it out, and we really appreciate you tuning in because it means a lot to us. It's a little channel, but we're enjoying it, and we're having fun, and we're hoping other people are having fun with us. Like, share, subscribe, please. I have to plug that, and I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.